Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Anna Morphides here with Mending Hearts Counseling, and coming to you today with another video from a statement that was sent to me from on one of my social media platforms. And this person was expressing how much they felt that the universe is always working against them. So I know that life does feel like a struggle, not for everybody, because we now know just from statistics that it's just 35 to 40% of the population that suffers from a negative self-view, which comes from the negative attachment styles. Everyone who is in the 65 to 60% of securely attached people that grew up with secure attachments, like their parents or at least one caregiver was able to see them, soothe them, provide safety and security. They have a positive self-view, therefore life feels less struggling to them. But for the rest of us that have had some sort of an attachment, I don't want to call it an issue, but an attachment style that produces a negative self-view, then of course, it's only natural that life is going to feel like a struggle, because we experience life through the lenses that we view ourselves. So if we view ourselves in a negative way, then we also view life in a negative way. We feel like everything is happening against us, but really everything is happening for us. So for this particular situation, I do know that happiness is a choice that we must make every day. So life shouldn't be a struggle, but it can feel like a struggle because we have emotion. So we have a situation or a thought, right, that produces a feeling. So the thought produces the feeling, the situation causes thoughts, thoughts cause feelings, and then feelings cause behavior. So the example of this person who feels like the universe is always against them, the thoughts that come with it are quite negative, and therefore leads to a behavior that is not wanting to participate in life. Almost like not giving up, but not facing the struggle. So the universe is actually always working for us. And once we're able to understand that it feels like a struggle when we have a negative self-view about ourselves, therefore we view everything negatively, then we can change that. And how do we change ourselves? The way that we view ourselves is with affirmations, inner child healing. There's so many different programs that you can embark on that will lead you to self-fulfillment and to whole and completeness. I feel like I've done everything under the book. I have done the Louise Hay Heal. Do I have it over here? No, I don't have it right here. Heal Your Life. It's a 21-day meditation program that was actually really focusing on inner child healing work, because I really needed to heal my inner child. That is the part of me that was the most hurt, because that's where there was no safety or security for me. So in my case, I feel like I've spent my entire life trying to I've spent my entire life wanting someone to save me from specific situations that took place in my early childhood. And it was only through this work that I realized, because my thoughts at night would be something like, why am I still that kid looking to be saved, and like no one is there to hold me close? Why is everyone just not able to get close to me? Why isn't anyone able to hold me in my space and tell me it's going to be okay, that I'm going to be safe, that it's going to be fine. So that's what my thoughts would be like. And then, of course, my other thoughts would sound something like, why doesn't anyone love me? What's wrong with me? Blah, 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 blah. But that was the old me before I did the healing. And then the new me is now experiencing life not as a struggle. Yes, life is very challenging, right? Like life is challenging and it is meant to be that way, but it doesn't have to be a struggle. Happiness is a choice that we make every day. And if it feels like the universe is against you, then these are the questions that you're going to ask yourself so you can get yourself out of it. First of all, understanding your attachment style. If your thoughts sound very much like, what's wrong with me? Why can anyone love me? How come no one can see me? So that means that your self-view is negative. So raising your self-worth and your self-confidence is number one priority. And that's how everything else will shift into your life. Then, what thoughts keep you up at night? Because usually when we go to sleep, just before we actually are able to fall asleep, is when we are able to really be with our thoughts. And the thoughts that are predominantly talking in our mind are the ones that are going to create our reality. And remember, you're not the thought. You're the one that listens to the thought, right? The thoughts are everywhere, and you are pure love and unlimited consciousness. You are what is listening to that voice. So what are those thoughts telling you at night? I would highly suggest to write them out. And then if your thought sounds something like, no one loves me. Why doesn't anyone love me? If that is your thought, then your job to give yourself a corrective experience would be to write the complete opposite affirmation and say it to yourself every day for at least 21 days. Why isn't anyone loving you? That's because you're not loving yourself. So that's what you're going to write down. I love myself. Okay, if your thoughts sound like, why am I not fully accepted? Why isn't anyone able to get close to me? That's because you're not getting close to yourself. So who are you? What do you want out of life? Write out the thoughts and then write out the opposite. So the opposite of somebody not wanting to get close to you would be like, I am sure of who I am, and I am with myself and myself at all times. I am able to listen to my voice and give myself exactly what I need. I know that when we're little, we lean on others for safety and security, right? Because we cannot give that to ourselves. Our brain development is not even able to do that for us. But when we're an adult, we no longer have to search for someone to do that for us. Once we understand and realize that, then we can give ourselves what we need through the affirmations, through that 21-day Heal Your Inner Child meditation program. Whatever it is that you need, give it to yourself. Thought, why can't anyone help me? No one can help you. People come in to show you what you need to heal. And that's actually how they're helping you. So give them your love and your gratitude, because if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be able to know what you need to heal. And that's how they're helping you. So when you have that thought, why isn't anyone helping me? They're helping you by prickling your little thorns inside. Just like Michael Singer would say in the Untitled Soul, right? Like we have all these thorns that live inside of us that we acquire through childhood. So situations and people will poke at them over and over until we're able to like remove that thorn. Take that damn thorn out. So then life does not feel like a struggle. Yes, it's going to be challenging, but you're going to be able to face it in a different way. And another way to really ease those thoughts at night is to switch to gratitude. So if you have a thought, I am unlovable, boom, positive affirmation. I love myself. I accept myself. I fully I love who I am and others love me for who I am. I no longer have to hide my true self. I can be my true self and I am accepted. Anything that will have the complete opposite experience of why doesn't anyone love me? And then gratitude, of course. Shift through your day. Try to find the top 5 things that you're grateful for. There's always something. I know my son is always like, there's nothing to be grateful for. And it blows my mind because, man, these children today, they have so many things to be grateful for. And yeah, once he actually sits down and he thinks about his day and tries to find the thing that he's the most grateful for, believe me, there's tons of gratefulness to be had. Next. This is a really big one, okay? So when the universe feels like it's a struggle or it's against you, and this is because this is a belief that you have acquired when you were a little kid. This is not something that you're born with. I just really want people to know that. So who gave you that experience? Like, who said that to you? What caused that for you to think this way? This is a learned behavior. This is not something that just pops into our mind and we start to feel this way. This is a way of experiencing ourselves that has been integrated deeply into our nervous system via our experiences that we have had as children and adolescents. So think about that for a minute. Who said that to you, that you're unlovable? What situation made you feel that way? And then if the tears come, because I know in my case, when I was asked those questions, there were situations that came to my mind, and let the tears come out. Forgive that situation, forgive that person, do it for you, and then save yourself in that moment. So for me, for example, I know I talked about this scene in the bathtub, and I had like this visualization where I literally went, me, my adult self, went to my little person, that 5.5-year-old, and I soothed her. I picked her up. I washed her gently. I wrapped a towel around her. Like, I told her that she's fine. And she doesn't have to worry about anything anymore because now I'm an adult. I don't need to lean onto anyone. I just only need to lean on myself. I just feel like no children should ever have to go through certain things, but reality is that they do. But we can recreate that experience and we can choose happiness every day. Happiness is a choice. And like Buddha says, if you're happy 50% of the time, you're winning in life, because it is challenging. So write these things out. What experience was it for you? What situation? There was actually a big segment on the Oprah show years ago. She brought on this therapist who actually put everyone in the audience in a meditative sleep and had everyone visit their childhood home, and as their adult self, would peer in the window and look at the situation in that child's home from now their adult self, to find the scene that was the most causing them harm today, like the biggest thorn that they acquired from an experience. And he had everyone go in and, like essentially save that little child just by doing a visualization. And your body doesn't know the difference. It's craving for that, and it doesn't know if you're creating it visually or if you're actually having it like in real life, which essentially that is doing it in real life. It's super duper powerful. It seems so simple, but it's so magical, freeing. yeah, it's quite beautiful. So do this for yourself. I mean, it's always better when you are in the, with the support of a counselor, someone who is trained in this, to be able to, you know, guide you in that meditative state and even hold your hand while you're doing your visualization. If you can do it on your own, great. There's also lots of YouTubers that can help you through that process. And I promise you, everything will change. With awareness comes everything, right? Like, unless we're aware of something, we cannot change it. But once we're aware of something, then we can create change for ourselves. So yeah, those would be the top questions that I would ask myself in order to understand why the universe feels like it's against me at all times, because the universe does really have your back. There is a book that was written, is it Gabriella? Something Gabby? I'll Google it after and I'll put it in the description box. Yeah, that was probably one of the first books that tapped into like spirituality and like the law of attraction and that kind of those concepts that we are now more and more and more awakening to. And I think I've covered it all. So those would be the things that I would do. Yes, I'm so grateful for that question. It's very important to feel like the universe has your back. And if it feels like a struggle, then you know there's a little bit of work to be done, but that's okay because you can do it. You have the power. You are unlimited in how much power you have. Remember that. You're meant to be loved. Like, we're born with pure unconditional love. We are love. Fear is completely man-made. No fear, no guilt, no shame. Those are low vibrations that keep you somewhere where you don't want to be. Choose love every day. I went to a concert last night, Florence and the Machine, and then she had a big sign that said, choose love. Yes, choose love. Choose happiness. Choose everything for you. You deserve it. Raise your self-worth. Be your best version. Go dance, laugh, have fun. Do a job that you love. Do everything that you wish that you want to do in this life, because it goes by, I was going to say pretty quickly, but it's really not quick at all. Okay, I'm going to finish my video right here. Always my love and gratitude. Thank you so much for everything. You have no idea how much you all mean to me, and I am so thankful that I can walk this path of life with you. And remember, if it feels like it's a struggle, then there is a little bit of work to be done, and you have the power in your hands. Everything is always happening for you. Okay, see you next time.